Hey guys, welcome to creatingtracks.com, and this is what we're going to do today. Okay, pretty cool. So here are our MIDI notes, and you can go ahead and take a screenshot. This is on a triplet grid, so right-click, triplet grid, right-click, 1/8, and there it is. So take a screenshot, and let's get into Massive. So I'm going to open up Massive and go to File, New Sound, and in this new sound, we're going to go to the Voicing tab and make it 2 voices. Go to Monophonic and turn on the pan position. Drag this slider a bit to the right, and then I'm going to go into my 4th envelope, bring down the decay level, bring down the attack all the way, and increase the release just a little bit. And this is what we have so far. So very, very basic. And now we can go into our first oscillator, pick a sine square, bring down the WT position, and pitch this down by 12 half steps. And then I'm also going to use only one filter. So let's send all these oscillators to the first filter. And we're not going to be using the noise oscillator, so I'm going to turn that off. And now in our second oscillator, we can turn that on and grab a scrapyard. And then we're going to make this a bend plus. I'm going to bring down the amp just a little bit to about 9 o'clock. And in fact, even in the first oscillator, I'm going to bring down the amp to about 12 o'clock. And then in the second oscillator, let's bring down the intensity a bit to about right here, and the WT position to about where it points to the letter W right here. And in the third oscillator, we're going to grab a kangaroo. And I'm going to pitch this down by 12 half steps, bring down the WT position a little bit to about there, and bring down the amp just a little bit too, to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And then in the first oscillator, let's also bring up the WT position just a tiny bit, and this is what we got so far. Okay, really cool. So now I can go to the filter, grab a low pass 4, bring down the cutoff all the way, bring down the resonance all the way, and we're going to be using the first envelope on our cutoff. So I'm going to bring down the level of my first envelope, decay level, increase the release, and bring the attack down all the way. Then we can grab this first envelope and put it on the cutoff, click and drag that all the way up. I'm also going to bring down the volume of my first filter just a little bit, and this is what we have so far. Okay, so now we can move on to our effects. So in the first one, I'm going to grab a classic tube, increase the drive to about 9 o'clock, reduce the wet a little bit to about 11 o'clock, and check it out. Just check it out. And now I'm going to mess with the wavetable position of my second oscillator till the sound becomes a little more clearer. Okay, very, very exciting. So now we can go in our second effects, grab a dimension expander, increase the size just a little bit, and reduce the dry wet to about here, or just a little over the minimum value. So just below 9 o'clock right here. And then in our EQ, we're going to turn that on, increase the high shelf, and increase the low shelf just a tiny little bit, and check it out. Okay, really cool. So we're getting very close to the sound now. So what I'm going to do is go to my modulation oscillator, turn on the phase for my second oscillator, and we're only going to be using the phase, so I'm going to bring that down, let the pitch be at 0, and bring the phase just a little over 0, just a tiny bit, and check this out. So we're going to be modulating this a lot, the phase knob. And now we're done with designing the sound, most of it, and we can start playing around with our macros. So I'm going to grab my second macro and place that on the phase and increase it just a little bit. And then I can grab the same macro, place that on my cutoff, increase that a tiny bit for brightness, grab the same macro, and we can put that. Okay, intensity is good. So I can grab this and place that on my intensity, click and drag this all the way down. Check it out. Okay, sweet. So now we can click on this 2 over here and rename that to effects 1. And let's grab the third macro, place that on the WT position of my third oscillator, bring that down, place the same thing on the WT position of the first oscillator and bring that up. And maybe I can grab and put it on the phase and then increase that. So check it out. So you can already hear how all these macros are just completely changing the sound. So let's rename the third one to effects 2, the fourth one to attack, and we're going to place this on the attack of our first envelope, which is controlling our cutoff. So attack and click and drag that up. And now when I have one of my effects knobs all the way up, you're going to hear what the attack does a little more clearly. So check it out. Okay, now we can unmute the drums and play everything together and check it out. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and definitely stay tuned for more until next week. Peace!